what is it that gets you up at bed in the morning? What is it that is it always this tinkering, the future that walks on the horizon for technology?
You know, the technology by itself certainly is interesting. It's always neat to see what's coming out, especially when it's something that allows you to do something different. In many ways, I got very bored of changes in CPU architecture a long time ago. As soon as we all had floating point and some SIMD stuff, it's hard for me to get excited about AVX extensions or whatever there. And honestly, I've reached that point with GPUs as well, where we're getting more GPU power all the time. Most of the recent features that have been added are really not all that spectacular on there. They don't fundamentally change anything. We have our compute infrastructure now, and we've got lots and lots of power. So for years I have been saying that the I/O devices are where really the next significant changes are going to be. We're going to continue to evolve and improve on all the things that we've got, and it's great that we get all this extra power, but to make those step function changes, to make it something that, like the move from 2D to 3D gaming on there, where it really was different, you can't get that same step function by just making better and better 3D on there. It needs to be something like, it was wonderful to see Nintendo have the success they did with the Wii on there, where they were underpowered, it didn't look competitive on there, but they did something different, and they struck a chord with really pretty crappy motion in a lot of ways on there, but it was something that showed the way, and people have been able to extend upon that. And following on with Move and Connect and all this, I think those are all good things. I have my issues with how they've been implemented and the horrible latency involved in the way a lot of this has been done, much of which was actually unnecessary. It's kind of frustrating that it wasn't as good as it could be on there. And in fact, I think that one of the end games for this VR stuff is you'll put cameras on it looking out, so you can see the outside world, so you can pick up your controller or whatever, but also so you can do inside-out connect. So you bring up your hands, and you'll be able to do skeletal tracking from the inside out rather than from a box looking at you. So all of these are technologies that will start coming together, and it'll be interesting. So the technology is exciting, seeing what else is happening, what I can sort of nudge in the right direction on things. The actual engineering aspect of it is what I spend the vast majority of my time on, trying to just get projects and processes of value that keep them from exploding under the weight of complexity that we pile upon them. I'm still learning on a weekly basis as a programmer. I'm a better programmer than I was a year ago. I learn new things as I undertake each project, as I research new things. I've got my aerospace stuff, which I wish I could actually, it's all time limited. I wish I could spend more time on that. I wish I could spend more time on this. I wish I could spend more time on my software research.
But there's only 24 hours in the day, unfortunately. I'm actually surprised you're saying you're still learning stuff. I mean, I thought you'd be, nothing left to learn for yourself.
Well, it's possible for people to stay in one niche and kind of learn it out, or at least it was in previous years. Although even today, even if you picked a niche and said, it's not possible for one person to know everything about even one of the consoles. If you said, I know everything about the 360, I'd say you're a liar. You will not know every last little command buffer tweaky thing that you have on there, and they are half-gigabyte machines. These were the supercomputers of days past. You look at seminal works of computer science. You take computer books that most programmers have up on their shelf but rarely read, these massive tomes, and you could do all of that research on your cell phone today. You could spend an entire career and never tap out the potential of your cell phone, let alone these monsters that we have under our desks or beside our TVs. So it's incredibly exciting. It's an interesting contrast to the aerospace world, where there really isn't much change, and that's part of the appeal there, is that damn little has changed in the last 40 years in terms of real capabilities or value that it delivers for the money. And even things that change somewhat, like materials science, change fairly slowly and not as much as people think they do.
Well, I think that's about all the time we have for it. Thank you very much indeed for the conversation, and thank you very much indeed for that. Cheers.
Yeah, I think you were the best footage of the head-mount display.